second. Just a second.
Hurry up, Arthur. I'm losing my grip.
Sorry, I had dish gloves on and I had to change.
A glove is a glove is a glove, Arthur.
I know, I know. You know, you have a key for a reason.
I don't do that. I don't walk into other people's homes. I don't care how long I've known them. It's rude.
I don't care as long as it's just you, Cirrus.
Well, I do. You don't walk in on me when I'm working with my patients online, so I don't walk in on you when you're doing whatever you do when you're home alone.
Did you get the chicken breast?
I did. Receipts in the bag. What are you making anyway?
Brandied apple cinnamon glazed chicken.
You get that recipe from one of your cooking shows.
Kitchen Cravings, episode 9, season 4. Are you able to stay for dinner?
Not tonight, I'm afraid. I've got about a half dozen prescriptions I have to deliver tonight.
Oh, that's a shame. I was counting on you to be my guinea pig.
Well, you'll have to find another guinea pig tonight, Arthur. I'm already behind.
I still can't believe you deliver all those prescriptions yourself. On TV, people always have to pick up prescriptions at the pharmacist.
And for those people like you that don't leave their homes,
Couldn't you mail them? It'd save you lots of time.
that's still illegal. Or if it isn't, it should be. Through the mail is no place to be sending dangerous substances. Who knows who can wind up with them? No, I prefer to hand deliver my prescriptions, just like I enjoy bringing you your groceries.
Fair enough.
What's wrong?
Uh,
Headache? Or is it the voices again?
just a headache. It's been coming in waves.
Have you been taking your meds?
Yes,
Because if you've been skipping or doubling up,
I've been taking them on time and in the right amount.
you said brandied chicken? Did you have any brandy?
No, just little spoonfuls of the sauce to test the flavor.
Well, there you are. You know you're not supposed to mix the meds with alcohol.
I thought it'd be fine.
Do me a favor, put a hold on the brandied chicken until tomorrow, lunchtime. That way the risk for interaction is minimal.
Brandied chicken isn't a lunch dish. All right. I just hope you know the sacrifice you're asking.
I know. I'll be back tomorrow at about 10. I've got my online sessions till noon. Then we can do our session from noon to 1. Sound all right?
All right. Hey, that'll mean you can try the brandied chicken after all.
I'll be looking forward to it. See you then.
You're early, Cirrus. I haven't even had time to start the glaze yet. But I could make eggs.
Hi, Arthur. How you been?
We don't want any.
Now, hang on a second, Arthur. You're not getting rid of me that easy. Not this time.
My lawyer said I don't have to let you in,
Oh,
and I don't have
well,
to talk to you
if
I
your
don't want
lawyer said so. Unless I have to question you about a crime. Which, surprise, surprise, fuckface, I do. Now, you got 3 options. We can do this down at the station, right here at your door, or you can let me in. Personally, I don't care which one it is.
That's an intimidation technique. You're trying to intimidate.
Yeah, Arthur. You know all the lines, all right? And of course you're right. But the fact remains I'm perfectly within my right to do so. I've given you 3 perfectly legal options. Now you get to choose which one you want to take advantage of.
And if I don't want to?
Well, if you don't like any of your options, you could try to slam this door in my face. In which case I come back with an arrest warrant, and then you get no choice but to do this down at the station. In circumstances that are a little less hospitable than I'm offering now.
You need proof of a crime and reasonable proof of my connection to the crime in order to arrest me.
Who says I don't?
You couldn't, because I haven't done anything. Have I?
You know, Arthur, I'm getting a little bored of this game. We go through this little song and dance every time, and you always end up letting me in. That's more like it. So, Arthur, it's been a while.
8 months, 11 days.
That's right. Sweet, you care so much, little buddy.
I just want to be left alone.
Yeah, well, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a wizard, but we gotta grow up sometime. You know, I'd love something to drink.
Bold roast. No cream, 2 sugars.
No sugar. Switch to artificial sweetener, trying to live healthy. God, Arthur, aren't you ever gonna get rid of any of this crap?
Dr. Weindeck encourages my collection. He says it's a low-risk way to manage my issues with control and to create structure for myself.
Why can't you just collect stamps like a normal person?
He also says many of my issues of control are rooted in my experiences with you.
I'll take that as a compliment.
It wasn't one. You had questions, Detective?
Right to it then. Where were you last night?
I was here, home, where I always am?
Can anyone corroborate that?
No.
Well then.
I haven't left my home in 3 years. 3 years, 8 months, 2 weeks, and 2 days. The last time I left, I was arrested for abducting Piper McConnell, age 16.
Well, them's the breaks. You know, if they hadn't refused to charge you on that one, I would have nailed your ass to the wall. Something that must have made them back off. You're one lucky son of a bitch, you know that?
Very lucky. Are we done?
Did I say we were done? No. You see, I've got another missing girl. Same age, race, and build as last time. Your kind of girl, Arthur. So I find myself thinking, all's been quiet around the old Atkins place. I bet old Arthur's just itching to find himself a new girl, all fresh-faced and naive. So, Arthur, how you been feeling lately?
I haven't left my home since February 7th, 2020. How do you suppose I abducted somebody from the comfort of my kitchen?
You know, for somebody who allegedly hasn't left their home, sure have a lot of new crap laying around whenever I come by.
Yeah, well, the internet is a magical place.
The internet bring you these?
Please! They're to be looked at only, not handled. If they're handled, they could be damaged.
So you're telling me you have all this junk around just to look at? You don't think it's a little creepy?
Dr. Weindeck brings me things. It's like a doctor giving a lollipop to a child after they got their shots. The psychology is sound.
Yeah. A lollipop won't give me nightmares, though. You seriously telling me this crap helps you?
My sister had a doll collection. The psychology is sound.
It's the dead eyes that do it for you, isn't it? You know, in that analogy of yours, you just called yourself a sick little child.
It's complicated. I simplified it for your benefit. I never said I was perfect.
Well, good.
That doesn't mean I'm a criminal.
Can we be frank for just a minute, Arthur? I don't like you. And not just for how and why you might think. The past is the past. I'm good with that. I made mistakes. We all do. We're human. But what I really can't stand about you isn't that you lie to me. Criminals lie to police all the time. That I'm used to. What really pisses me the fuck off about you is that you lie to yourself and you're just too weak or stupid or whatever it is you are that you actually buy into your own crap. You've been playing the victim so long you've come to believe it. You're our very own Frankenstein, a monster who doesn't even realize he's a monster. Well, I'll leave you to chew on that, but make no mistake, I will get you. And you'll call me if you hear anything about the missing girl, right? I mean, if she turns up, check the usual places, under the floorboards, the garden, under the couch cushions. I'm always losing stuff there. And in case you've never seen Frankenstein, let me tell you how it ends. When the villagers find out there's a monster living in the castle, they hunt it down and burn it alive with torches. I'll be seeing you, Arthur.
Frankenstein was the creator. The creature had no name. Go away.
Arthur, it's Cirrus. Are you all right in there?
Yes, sorry. I wasn't expecting you for at least another half hour.
A half hour? I'm almost 45 minutes late. I thought you'd be lecturing my ear off.
I must have dozed off.
So no brandied chicken, I take it?
I'm sorry, Cirrus. I can go and start it right now. It'll need about a half hour, not counting trial and errors to balance the sauce's flavor with. And...
Easy, Arthur. I was just kidding. I'm not really that hungry, to be honest.
Oh, you don't have your rolling suitcase.
Don't need it today. Light workload. No files needed. I actually have to get right to work in just a minute, though.
That's fine. If it's all the same to you, I'll save the chicken for another day.
What's wrong, Arthur? I haven't seen you like this in ages.
I had an unwelcome visitor.
Let me guess. Detective Price.
Price.
Price. What did he want?
Apart from butchering classic literature,
Do you want to talk about it?
you have to do your online sessions first. That's the schedule. First them, then me.
Are you sure?
That's the schedule.
Hey, I do have something for you, though. Might cheer you up.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was going to give it to you for today's session, but I think we can mix things up a bit.
You don't need to get me things.
Are you kidding me? You're my best patient. Between you and the great state of Rhode Island, my kid may actually get to go to college. Leave the door open for me, will you? It's kind of heavy.
Do you need a hand?
Nope, I've got it.
What in the world?
Do you like it?
It's huge.
And heavy to boot.
Where did you find something like that?
While I was out delivering prescriptions last night, the house next door to one of them had an estate sale backing up, and I saw it being loaded onto the truck, and I just knew you'd love it. Now, don't touch it. It's an antique. Just like a large version of the one you said your sister had, isn't it?
Yeah, just like it.
I think the body is solid mahogany, or at least that's what the lady said. I have some great ideas about how we can use her in our sessions, actually.
Stuff of nightmares.
What was that?
Nothing. You don't think it's a little much?
Well, if you don't like it.
No, it's kind of relaxing, you know? Like having a friend.
Well, let's go one step at a time, shall we? You did just meet, after all.
I didn't mean...
No worries, Arthur. That's why she's here. I have decided it is my goal to get you out of this house by Christmas.
I don't leave.
We'll see. I have a mission. Now, I'll leave you two to get acquainted. Just promise me.
I won't touch it.
That's my boy.
Hello. My name is Arthur Adkins. Right. Too much. Well, we'll work up to the handshake, I suppose. Welcome to my home. I'm sorry it's a little cluttered. I don't throw many things away. What's your name? Or hasn't Cirrus given you one yet? I should wait. I don't want to give you a name if you already have one. It could get confusing. And it'd be rude. To name me twice, I mean. Confusing and rude. I'm very polite. At least, I try to be. Cirrus tried this once before. Years ago. When we first started doing sessions. That was before It was when I still went outside. This is weird. I need you to understand that I know you're just a doll. But since you're going to be living here now, I shouldn't say living. It implies you're alive, which I know you're not. Staying here? No, that's just as weird. I would never say my laptop was staying here, would I? Well, since you're going to be here a while, I just wanted to make you feel welcome. I know you can't actually feel welcome. Not in the sense that I do, at least. But I want to put it out there to whatever's out there that I'm glad you're here. It gets lonely with just Cirrus for company sometimes. He's a great listener, too. I'm sure you already know.
Hello, my name is Angela Wiseman. I'm from the city. We've noticed an unusual spike in your water usage by over 500% this month. Have you been using any more water than usual?
No, same as always.
Well, then it's likely that you have a leak. You mind if I come in and take a look around?
Actually, this isn't a good time.
I understand, sir, but we really want to get that looked at. If it's not in the house, then it could be in the yard, and we don't want to have to dig up the yard if we don't have to now, do we?
I haven't seen any leak.
Well, these things aren't as noticeable as first unless you know where to look.
Ma'am, I really don't like people being in my house.
I'll be as quick as can be. Scout's honor. Is the missus home?
I don't have a missus.
Oh, I thought I heard you talking to someone. Or was that the gentleman from before?
Yes, I was talking to my Cirrus.
Kitchen
Are
through
you-
here?
Yes, but there's no. You
Is the
can't just
water
come.
heater downstairs? Chances are if you got a leak, it's downstairs.
Yes, but you can't go down there. It's occupied. My friend works from there, and he cannot be disturbed. Please.
Right. So, do you have a bathroom? You know, to check the pipes?
Why are you doing this?
Well, if we don't find that leak before the bill comes in, and it's going to be a huge expense.
You're not from the city.
Of course I am.
No, you're not. You're not wearing a polo shirt, which is standard dress for city employees when visiting homes. Also, you don't have any identification visible. And you weren't in the kitchen long enough to have looked at anything relating to the plumbing. And you don't have any tools. Plus, you either don't drive a city vehicle or you parked it far enough away from the house so it's out of sight. Which wouldn't make sense. Especially if you're about to tell me that you left your tools in the truck, because then it's going to be quite a trip to have to go and fetch them. So who are you? Another college kid trying to win some kind of bet, or are you just trying to rob me? Can't you people just leave me alone?
You all right up there, Arthur?
Fine. I'm just fine. Knocked over some stuff, that's all. I got it. I got it.
You're awfully quiet today, Arthur.
Price stopped by,
And
and it makes me uncomfortable.
it has every reason to. You two have a history together.
It's more than that.
He's a trigger for your anxiety.
I know that. When he shows up, he makes me feel so guilty.
About?
I don't know.
You know, you can't trust any of the memories associated with your parents' death. You've created false memories and they've become irrevocably intermixed with the real ones.
I know that too. This is something fresher, more immediate.
Have you done anything recently to feel guilty about?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so.
It's a feeling like I've got nothing to feel guilty about, but I must be guilty about something because he's here. So I feel guilty.
That's not unusual.
It's not?
Not at all. The presence of an officer makes a person hyper aware of their behavior, which makes them feel more like they must be doing something wrong, which feeds the paranoia.
That makes sense.
You factor in your history with Price, and it's amazing you kept your temper with him at all. You did keep your temper with him, didn't you? You see, you should feel proud of yourself.
I don't.
Well, let's explore that. Do you feel
What if he's right?
right about what?
That I kidnapped that missing girl?
Did you kidnap this girl?
No! I don't think so. I'm not sure.
Well, that's 3 pretty different levels of commitment there, Arthur.
What if I did, but I just don't remember? I lose time sometimes.
You lose track of time sometimes. That's different than losing chunks of time.
But is it?
Yes, very, actually. I've seen you spend hours in that kitchen and you don't realize 10 minutes have gone by. I'll bet when Price was here, it felt like hours, didn't it?
Yeah.
Well then,
But this is different. What if I think I'm controlling myself and not doing bad things, but what if I really am and I just can't remember? Sometimes I sit down and the voice is just, and the next thing I know, 2 hours have gone by and I have no idea what I've been doing.
by my count, you've been arrested, accused, and or questioned by Price over 25 times in the last 5 years. And in all that time, has he ever made anything stick to you?
He says I'm lucky.
You're either innocent or the luckiest criminal mastermind this side of the Mississippi.
Do you believe in the concept of a soul?
That's beyond my pay grade.
Well, not as my doctor then, but as my friend. Do you believe we have souls?
I can't answer that. Besides, ultimately, that's a question that you have to answer for yourself. What prompted that, might I ask?
Something Price said.
Arthur? Are you still with me?
I just felt like we were being watched.
Have you been getting this feeling often?
No. It's probably because of the girl.
What girl? What girl, Arthur?
Earlier, when you were downstairs, there was a girl at the door. She said she was with the city, but I think she was just another college girl on a dare.
It's been a while since you had one of those, hasn't it?
Yeah, I figured the novelty might actually be wearing off.
But she still bothered you?
Well, she forced her way into the house. Forced is a strong word, actually. Anyway, she came in and poked around a few minutes and then ran out of here. No harm done. Just left me feeling a bit,
Violated?
yeah.
If that happens again, you can always call the police. You do have that right, you know. Not every police officer is going to be Detective Price.
No. But he'd sure love the excuse.
So, have we given her a name yet?
No, I didn't want to in case you'd already given her one.
She's your house guest. You have the honor.
Guinevere.
I like it. Guinevere. A Guinevere for my Arthur. So, do you remember the exercise from before?
Talk to her, treat her how I would treat a friend. Tell her things I don't feel comfortable telling anyone else.
But you should never.
Never touch her. Respect her space. Don't lay hands on her. She's not a punching bag or an object to take out my frustrations on. Treat her like a person. apologize if necessary, but always keep my hands to myself.
Good. You talked to her yet?
I introduced myself.
Good. I'm sure you'll get on great. I'm going to end our session a little early today, Arthur. Give you two a chance to chat. Now remember, you can speak into the air. You don't have to be sitting down to talk to her. I'm sure Guinevere is a great listener.
Cirrus? Thank you.
My pleasure. You know what else I can do for you? Here. Don't tell anyone, but I really should be giving you a prescription, but I know you won't sleep tonight unless you have these. They're tranquilizers. Really high dose. So you only need to take half of one. Should help you sleep tonight and deal with the anxiety.
Thanks, Cirrus.
What are friends for?
I'll see you tomorrow.
You bet. Ooh, before I go, do you think I could get a cup of coffee for the road?
Of course.
If there's anything in the news about that missing girl, do you want me to let you know?
Please, I figure if Price comes knocking again, I'd better be ready.
Just be honest with him and he can't touch you. Don't let him control the conversation.
Easier said than done.
Oh, I don't know, Arthur. I'll bet you could do anything you put your mind to.
Hello? Hello? Anybody there? If anybody's there, you'd better go before I call the police. Guinevere? Gwyn? Is that you? Gwyn? That's not where I left you. I put you by the window so you could look at the garden. How did you get by the door? Am I awake right now? Are you? How did you get by the door? You! What are you doing in my house?
Stay away from me!
This is my house! Why are you in my house?
I didn't steal anything, alright? I was just looking at I don't want trouble, just let me go!
This is my home. Why are you in my
I
home?
didn't steal anything, I was just looking! Just let me go!
Yes? Arthur,
It's me.
coming.
Arthur,
Cirrus, I'm so glad you're here.
what's wrong?
It's that girl. That woman. She was here last night in my house.
Slow down, Arthur. Tell me exactly what happened.
What happened? What happened is that she was here. In my house. In my home, Cirrus.
Why?
Why? Why? Who knows why? It doesn't matter. All that matters is that she was here.
Now calm down, Arthur. Who was here?
That woman. The one that said she worked for the city. I heard a noise last night, and I came downstairs, and I caught her in the kitchen.
What was she doing there?
What was she doing? She was hiding. That's what she was doing.
But why would this woman break into your house?
I don't know. I think maybe she works for Price. Maybe some kind of private investigator or off-the-books informant?
You said you caught her? What do you mean you caught her?
I caught her in the kitchen. She was climbing out of one of the cupboards. She must have come in through the window.
Arthur, listen to me. What do you mean you caught her?
Found? Busted? Discovered?
But you didn't lay a hand on her?
No, I didn't touch her.
Good. Good. Go on.
That's it. I found her in the kitchen, and she ran. She tried to get through the front door, but she had trouble, so I unlocked it for her, and she ran off into the night.
And?
And isn't that enough? She was in my house, Cirrus, my house. Well,
Sit down, Arthur.
I don't want to sit down.
Arthur. I'm going to ask you a question, and it's going to upset you. But I want you to really think about it before you reply, all right? Are you sure there was someone in your house last night?
What are you talking about? Of course there was.
Did anyone else see her?
Of course they did.
They did.
Oh yeah. At first the Easter Bunny didn't believe me. But between me, Santa Claus, and Sherlock Holmes, we convinced him to come downstairs and see for himself.
Arthur.
Of course nobody else saw her. She was in my house at 2 in the morning. Even if I wasn't the neighborhood pariah, 2 a.m. is a little bit late for me to be entertaining.
Arthur.
I know what you're implying, Sears, but she was here.
Did you take that tranquilizer I gave you last night?
Yeah.
Arthur, I've been concerned about you for some time.
It's just Price.
No, I mean before he even showed up again. Have you been under a lot of stress lately? You're working on a new book. That's great news. You haven't written anything in almost 4 years.
I know.
What inspired this, Arthur?
Besides the fact that I need the money, I haven't stopped writing stories. In my head, I mean. When I dream, if I try to ignore them, I just, writing them down, I don't. What if I publish it and Price starts showing up again?
From what you said, he's already showing up.
I know, and I can't even handle one visit. What if I publish it and Price reads it and then? What if I publish it and somebody copies the murders from the book again? Price will come after me.
You are not responsible for what other people do. You write fiction. Not a manifesto, not instructions, fiction.
But if that's how it's used, I have a fan.
Sickness finds sickness. Sorry, Arthur. You can't control what other people will do with what you give them. Believe me, it feels great to have that kind of control, but you can't always get it.
You really think I imagine this woman?
I think there's a possibility, yes.
But I saw her yesterday while you were downstairs, right here.
You may be getting worse, Arthur. That's one of the reasons why I brought you the doll, to give you something tangible to talk to. We've managed your audio hallucinations. We'll manage this too.
That's something else.
What is?
The doll. Guinevere? I don't like her. I want you to take her away.
You liked her yesterday.
She moved.
What do you mean?
I put her by the window to look at the garden. But then she was by the door.
Maybe you are losing time.
Right? There's no other explanation for it. I moved her during the night. Except
Yes?
a few minutes ago, Before you arrived, I thought I heard her groaning
Groaning.
or wheezing. Gurgling? I don't know what it was.
Let me go get you some water.
I'm not thirsty.
Humor me. Here, I'll take Guinevere with me. Put her by the garden window.
Okay. So, help me understand this, Cirrus. If I imagine this woman, did I imagine her both times? Or just last night?
What do you mean?
Well, if I imagined her last night, I was on the tranquilizer. So that may have helped cause it, yeah?
Right.
But yesterday, I wasn't on anything. So, if I'm hallucinating, what caused it? Price or the drugs?
It's not necessarily either, Arthur. The brain deteriorates. It's a cauldron of chemicals. Any kind of imbalance can cause adverse effects.
So what do I do?
Well, nothing too severe going on there.
You don't call seeing somebody who wasn't there something severe?
You've been hearing people who weren't there for years, and we've managed that, haven't we?
If you say so.
Do you want to know the part I prefer to focus on? In spite of this woman being in your home, or you believing she was in your home, you never touched her. You've been worried that you have this darker side, and you've been unwilling to interact with anyone because you were afraid of what you might do. Now, in a situation that was the epitome of your space being violated, and you not having control, you still handled yourself with grace and dignity.
I suppose that's true.
Of course it is. Now look, whatever happens, I'm here for you. And I'm proud of the progress you've made.
Thanks. That means a lot.
I have an idea. Why don't I help you prep that brandy apple chicken you've been excited for the past few days?
Sounds good.
All right then. I hope this lives up to expectations. I'll get it. You go on and get things started. Ah, Detective Price. I was wondering when I would see you again. Please, come in.
Wine deck.
What can I do for you today?
Arthur home?
Of course he is. You know he doesn't leave the house.
So he says, but I'm telling you that he does.
I assume you're here because you have some evidence of this?
I'm here because I want to question Arthur about this missing girl.
You want to question Arthur anytime anyone under the age of 20 comes within a 5-block radius of this house.
This isn't a joke, Doctor. Whether he's responsible or not, there's a missing young woman, and I have reason to believe Arthur might be connected.
Oh, this I'd love to hear.
I'm under no obligation to tell your ass anything.
Have it your way. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you again when you have a warrant.
Now listen here, wine dick. I came to see Arthur, not you. You've got nothing to do with this, so just go get him. I can ask my questions and be on my way.
You know, the level of obsession you have with Arthur isn't healthy. I could really help you with that if you like.
Just keep your psychobabble to yourself, okay, Doc?
Oh, it's something more than obsession, isn't it? I would have to say imposter syndrome.
No, I don't buy any of this psychology bullshit. Certainly don't need any third-rate head shrinker telling me I want to sleep with my father or kill my mother.
No, I take you more for an Oedipal than an Electra.
You're not getting anywhere near me with any electrical junk, Doc.
The imposter syndrome, on the other hand, is when you never quite feel like you belong. Like when someone feels like they're just pretending to be a cop and they're living...
One day, shut up! I came here because there's a missing girl. Now either Arthur has something to do with it or he doesn't. If he does, I would think you'd want to help us. If he doesn't, we may as well eliminate him as a suspect so we can look elsewhere. Is that okay with you?
Arthur, can you come in here a moment, please?
Is Price still there?
Yes, but it's all right. We're just gonna have a little chat, that's all. Oh, and bring your new friend in, please. I'm sure the detective would love to meet her.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Jesus Christ, what the hell is that thing?
Detective, meet Guinevere. At the moment, this is the only woman in Arthur's life, but we're working on that.
You want to explain this to me, Doc? Because you're trying to convince me how normal our boy here is. This ain't doing it.
She's a therapy doll.
Sears got her for me a few days ago.
So what the hell does that have to do with the missing girl?
You said you wanted to eliminate Arthur as a suspect? Do you want to know why he can't have abducted her? It's an antique, one of a kind. I'm going to be cruel to be kind now, Arthur. I'm going to tip her over, and she will most likely break it to a million pieces.
No, please! Don't!
It's okay. It's okay. Look, I got it. No harm done.
What the hell kind of sideshow crap is this?
Arthur has been conditioned so that he will not put his hands on another person, especially not a woman. He would have much rather let that doll be destroyed than to have to put his hands on her.
This is your proof that he won't catch a falling doll? You know, I always have my doubts about you, but now I know you're both fucking nuts.
Arthur,
It's a
what-
goddamn doll, for Christ's sakes. I'm talking about a human being. A missing woman with family and friends and a home. Not some stupid Wilson the goddamn volleyball horse shit.
I didn't mean...
Can it, Geppetto? Now that's Jenna Kelker. She's 19. She was last seen leaving her home 3 days ago at approximately 6:30 p.m. Her mother said she was going to night class. Her bike was found 3 blocks from here. Now, let's assume I believe you that you're some sort of rear window shut-in freak who doesn't leave his house. You still live between her house and the college, which means she must have passed by here the night she disappeared. Now, what do you know? Don't look at him. You look at that picture and you tell me if you've ever seen her.
I don't think so.
If I find out you're lying to me. What about you? You practically live here. You ever seen her when you're coming or going?
I think I might have.
Well, amazing what we learn when we stop playing games, isn't it?
But not around here. She must live near one of my patients.
You got a name for me?
I can't give you the name of my patients, you know that. But I'll guess this girl lives somewhere near Eisenhower.
Shenandoah, 1 street over.
We done here?
There's still the issue of the missing bike.
That hardly links her to Arthur, Detective. I respect what you're wanting to do, but I promise you that Arthur has nothing to do with this girl's disappearance.
I'd rather hear that from him.
I don't think so.
Well, if that's all the conviction you can muster, I'll be seeing you again real soon. Thanks for the info, Doc.
You're missing something obvious.
Am I?
Right in front of your face. She's a 19-year-old who lives at home. Find the boyfriend. Statistically speaking, if you find the boyfriend, you probably find her.
You think she's shacking up with her boyfriend somewhere?
It's as good an explanation as any.
Then why did she ditch the bike?
Please don't ever do that to me again.
What are you talking about? You passed with flying colors, my boy. I'm proud of you. We proved to him
We didn't
that...
prove anything to him. All we proved is I still can't handle Price on my own.
Arthur,
Can we skip lunch today? I don't feel very hungry at the moment.
I'm sorry. I thought I was doing you a favor. I knew you wouldn't let me down, and in my hubris, I got carried away. I'm sorry.
I'm not mad at you.
You're not?
I hate being reminded how completely incapable of handling myself I am. Price comes along and I've got about as much backbone as a squid.
Not everyone out there is as much of a pain in the ass as Price is.
I know. Price isn't a cross-section of typical Americana. He is, however, a good example of the type of person I'll eventually have to deal with in Extremis. And when faced with a significantly domineering personality, I revert back to a 9-year-old boy being yelled at by his father and put in the corner.
If you think being normal means dealing with every person in every situation perfectly, then you don't get people. In every walk of life, there are the bullies and there are the bullied. It's up to you to figure out which one you want to be.
What if I don't want to be either?
Try talking it out with Guinevere. She will help you figure out who you are.
You think so?
Oh, I'd bet my life on it.
I'm sorry you had to see me that way. So, Cirrus seems to think you've got all the answers. Where are you from? Don't suppose you have a tag on you anywhere. At least not one I can find. Did you enjoy the garden? This is going wonderfully. Okay, questions are out. Can't ask you anything. Oh, and I'm sorry about earlier. Cirrus, he was just trying to help me out. I knew he wasn't going to hurt you. Well, that's not exactly true, is it? I was terrified he was going to hurt you. I should have done something to protect you, stop him. He shouldn't be putting you in the middle of my problems. So, apologies and all that. Ugh, what am I doing? You can't talk to me. You can't answer me. You can't do anything. Except listen. So, I'm an author. Not a very famous author or anything, but I've done pretty well. Books. I write detective novels. Murder mysteries, to be more specific. They're pretty good. It's kind of cathartic, really. My first one was about my experiences as a child. You see, my parents died when I was very young. But I don't like to talk about that. This is the first one I've done in years. The last one I wrote had some unintended consequences. But I've always got these stories floating around, so... You see, I have what Dr. Windeck calls a schizoaffective disorder. And I hear these voices talking to me sometimes, and sometimes they tell me things. And they can be really dark. And it scares me. Because I don't want to be that person. But if I'm supposed to be that person, then... So, I write it down so it becomes fiction. That's one of the many reasons Price hates me. He thinks I'm profiting from my parents' tragedy. You see, he doesn't... Did you move? I'm being ridiculous. Where was I? You see, the problem with writing down my thoughts like this is that people like Price want to read something into them. Price is convinced that my books are like my wish list. You know, the ways I'd like to hurt people if I ever got the chance. I can't blame him too much. I don't know if he's entitled. Now that's not right! As I was saying, there's no accounting for taste. Price has read all my books, which sounds great on paper, but... No, you moved. I saw it. I saw it. Airflow. Maybe a gust from the air conditioning. Well, you didn't move on your own. You want me to believe what? You're possessed? Haunted? Well, not happening. Hauntings are pure fiction. There's no empirical evidence of life after death. Many of the studies have been... Oh, perfect. Great. Just what I need right now. Now, that wasn't my imagination. You groan too. Objects don't groan. Dolls don't do that. I have dolls. They don't groan. Do it again. Please? I know you groaned. I know you did! Come on! You haven't done anything in 2 hours! Just give me something, please? A move? A groan? Am I just crazy? Is that it? Have I really gotten so bad I can't even handle a stupid doll for company? Huh? Please, just give me something. Just some kind of noise. A grunt? A whisper? Anything? Shit! Shit. Holy shit. I'm ridiculous. You had me. You got me real good.
Hi.
No. No.
Hey, I just came by to apologize.
No.
This is ridiculous. I shouldn't have come.
You're damn right you shouldn't have come. It's my head. My head. My home.
Look, I just wanted to say I'm sorry, all right? I had no right to break into your house last night.
Well, you should be.
Well, I am. And that's all I wanted to say. I'll go now.
Angela Wiseman. Angela Wiseman. You can't go. You're not real. How can you go when you were never here?
My name is not Angela.
Wait, your name's not Angela? But you said your name was Angela. Angela Wiseman. I Googled you. I Googled Angela Wiseman and you don't exist.
Look, I just broke into your house. Using my real name would not have been exactly a great idea.
Okay, hold on. I just need a minute. Okay?
Hey, that guy that was here, he's your doctor, right?
Cirrus. That's a good idea. I should call Cirrus.
What's his number? I'll call him for you.
Are you real?
Of course I'm real. What's your doctor's number?
How can you be real? I looked you up.
I'm probably gonna regret this. My name is Patricia Gilman. I'm a reporter.
A reporter?
That's right.
Why?
I got a tip that Jenna Kelker had disappeared and I was looking for a headline.
Why are you telling me all this?
I may have crossed the line when I broke into your house last night.
Oh, I'll say so.
Look, I figured a guy who just kidnapped a 19-year-old girl wouldn't let some woman who just broke into his house go. You didn't try to hurt me, and maybe I should give you the benefit of the doubt.
Benefit of the doubt?
Yeah.
Can I offer you some coffee?
Oh, thank you. You really didn't have to do that.
Frankly, I like cooking. It calms me. Though, I don't think cold sandwiches quite classifies as cooking.
Well, they look lovely. Very good.
It's just ham and Swiss. With a little Dijon mustard with crushed rosemary.
Why am I here?
You came to apologize, you said.
Right, but why am I still here? I have expected you to toss me out within 10 seconds. But now you're making me sandwiches and coffee, and I'd just like to understand.
I suppose it comes as a bit of a relief to find out I didn't imagine you.
Okay, that I don't understand.
My doctor thought I made you up, that you were a figment of my imagination. I Googled the name you gave me, and I couldn't find anybody that fit the description, so I thought he might be right.
You know I came here because I was looking for proof that you kidnapped that girl.
Yeah, I got that.
But you're not mad?
You're still here.
Still here. According to my boyfriend, makes me really, really dumb.
I don't follow.
I told my boyfriend that I broke into your house and how I felt like I crossed the line. And when I told him I wanted to come back and apologize, he completely lost it.
Why did you do it? Break into my house? Why didn't you just ask me whatever questions you have?
Are you saying that you wouldn't have slammed the door in my face?
I suppose you have a point there.
Anyway, I made a friend at the Rhode Island Police Department. See, I have been following this string of missing girls, and most of them, they're presumed runaways, but the thing is, they date back years. Anyway, when he passed along your name as a person of interest and I looked into you, I thought I had a scoop.
Do people still use that term? Scoop? I thought it disappeared in everything except 1960s detective novels.
That's right. You're a writer, aren't you?
To my shame.
Well, I did a little research on you before I came. Can I ask a silly favor?
If you like.
Can you turn that thing around? It's really creeping me out. When I was here the other night, I did not even want to touch that thing.
But did you?
Well, it was blocking the window I was coming in through, so I had to move it by the door.
You have no idea what a relief that is.
Why?
I thought, never mind. How about I move her into the kitchen?
Oh, that would be great. So, what is the deal with that thing anyways?
She was a present from my doctor.
Is that the guy who was here before?
That's him, Dr. Sears Windeck. He's been my therapist for years.
Is that court mandated or voluntary? Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Look, I suffer from a pretty extensive case of foot and mouth disease. I didn't mean to pry. It's a reporter thing. You kind of lose the line between work and polite conversation, you know?
It's all right. So, is this work or polite conversation?
Fair question. I guess it depends on whether or not you know anything about Jenna Kelker.
No, not a thing. Don't recall having ever seen her before.
Is there a reason why your name came across the desk of Detective Price?
That is a pretty long story.
I've got time,
Off the record,
if you'd like.
how much do you know about me?
Not much. Your parents were murdered. Your sister disappeared and is presumed dead. You were the primary suspect, but the case was dismissed and there were no other suspects charged. Frequent run-ins with the law, and you have a small collection of books published in your name.
You pretty much got me figured out right there.
I'd like to get your side of things,
My side of things?
if you'd like to tell it.
No one's asked me for my side of things in almost 15 years. Where do you want me to begin?
Oh, wherever you like.
Well, my parents were killed when I was 8. Murdered. I had a 19-year-old sister home from college at the time, and that's all I really know for sure.
I don't understand. What do you mean that's all you really know for sure?
When the police found me, they say I was holding a knife and covered in my parents' blood.
And you don't remember?
Oh, I remember all right. I just don't know if what I remember was real or not.
I'm not following.
Dr. Weindeck calls them false memories. Price was a rookie back then. He was relatively new as a cop. Well, when he found me, he was convinced that I had killed my parents and did something with the body of my sister. He was so convinced that he walked me through the crime scene, literally, and described to me exactly what I had done and how I did it.
That's horrible.
Oh, he had it laid out beautifully. The how, the order. He had it all figured out. Just didn't know what happened to my sister, though.
I take it that since you're released that you were proven innocent.
Oh no. Everyone was pretty sure I'd done it. I'd even confessed. That's how strong the case against me was.
But how did you...
When Price walked me through the crime scene, he broke every regulation in the book. Not only had he contaminated the crime scene, but I couldn't tell if I remembered killing my parents because I had killed my parents, or because he told me I had.
Did you?
I'm going to open the door because I'm pretty sure you're going to want to leave in a minute.
Well,
I don't know. To this day, I don't know if it's false memories or not. So, they called it a mistrial or whatever those things are. My attorney was so appalled by the police misconduct, they cut a deal for court-ordered therapy until I was 18, and that was it. You're still here.
but why would you have killed your parents? I mean, did they abuse you or...
I'm far from healthy. Mental health issues run in my family.
Is that what Price gave me your name?
Oh, I'm pretty sure he'd given me the electric chair for jaywalking if he could. Another reason I don't leave the house.
So, he screwed up all those years ago. And now,
And now anytime anyone within a 10-mile radius gets a cold, he thinks I've upgraded to bacteriological warfare.
I am so sorry.
We seem to have conveniently breezed by the part where I said I may or may not have murdered my parents.
Look, Arthur, you've been straight with me, so I'll be straight with you. I knew a lot about you more than I had let on. I knew about the case being dismissed and the court-ordered therapy, but what I wasn't sure about was Jenna Kelker. And now, I think you're as much of a victim as anyone involved in this mess.
I'm not a victim.
I'm not so sure. Look, I hate to ask. I got a column to fill, and right now I've got nothing. I wouldn't mind making you a bit of a profile piece. The man behind the mistreatment and all that.
You want to write a piece about how I'm not a monster?
Unless I find something that tells me otherwise. Sure, America loves an underdog story. What was that?
I don't know. Ah!
What the fuck?
Quinn?
Got you now, Atkins. You're under arrest.
Wait,
You can't be here.
Exigent
this is all the
circumstances.
business
Don't
from
touch
the
me.
beginning.
No,
He wasn't
no.
attacking me. We were just
You have the
talking.
right to remain
leave.
silent.
Go.
Anything
I
you say
can't
can and will be
This
used
is all a
against you in
big
the court of law.
misunderstanding.
You have to go to an attorney.
Oh,
Arthur?
Cirrus?
Arthur,
What are you doing here?
I live here?
I thought you'd been arrested.
They didn't have enough to hold me, so they had to let me go. How'd you know I got arrested?
Some woman called me up, Patricia Gilman.
You talked to her then. That's Angela Wiseman, you know.
Who?
Angela Wiseman is Patricia Gilman.
You're not making any sense, Arthur.
The woman who was here the other night? The one you thought I made up.
This is the woman? Is she the one that got you arrested?
Yes, but she didn't mean to. It was a misunderstanding. That doll? Where is she?
The woman? I don't know. She called me on the phone.
No, Guinevere. Gwyn, the doll, she was right here. She was on the floor.
It's all right, Arthur. I picked her up. She's right here.
There's something wrong with that thing. I
What do
want
you
you to
mean?
take her away.
What do you mean?
It's possessed or something. But whatever it is, isn't right.
Don't be silly. She's just an old doll. Porcelain, fabric, and wood. Nothing more.
She was on the floor, Cirrus. She was coming for me. I put her by the window in her chair where I left her, and when I came back, she was on the floor.
Arthur, that's called gravity. That's all it is. Her weight probably shifted and she fell out. You have to be careful with old things like this. You're lucky the face didn't break.
But it's done other things too. Groaning and moving. I swear to you that thing moved on its own.
You missed your afternoon dose of your medication, didn't you? Of course you did. All alone in that police station.
Why didn't you come?
To the police station?
I kept expecting you to come, but you never did.
I came here, Arthur. I figured once they had you under arrest, it was only a matter of time that they would come and strip this place bare, looking for anything that could link you to those missing girls.
Yeah, I noticed.
I wasn't much help, I'm afraid. But they didn't take everything. I managed to save a copy of your book before they took your laptop. I didn't know how long they'd have it and knew you'd want to have it to work on. Here, you can even borrow my laptop until they bring yours back.
Thank you. You're always so good to me, Cirrus.
My pleasure. Now, do you want to tell me what happened?
That woman I told you about? She's a reporter.
A reporter?
Yeah, she's investigating that girl Price was asking about.
Do you think Price sent her? He might have hired her to plant evidence. If she's caught, he could disavow any knowledge of her.
You sound like one of my detective stories.
You know I'm your biggest fan. You had something like that in Midnight Blue, Crimson Red, didn't you?
Yeah, only it was a waitress at the diner where the killer ate.
So you think Price sent her?
No, I don't think so, at least. If she was, then why'd she call you?
I suppose you're right.
But he did show up really fast.
Help me.
What was that?
What was what?
You didn't hear it?
No. Apart from being unceremoniously dragged from your home, how are you doing?
Pretty terribly, actually. I can't tell if I'm losing my mind or if I'm just... You know I don't believe in ghosts, right, Cirrus?
It's never come up.
Well, I don't. But something is wrong here. Where did you say you got that doll from?
It was an estate sale.
Right. That means the people who owned it before, well, it means they're dead, right?
Arthur, you can't tell me you don't believe in ghosts, then in the next breath talk about ghosts?
Well, just do me a favor, will you, and watch her for a while? Just watch her.
I've been here all afternoon and it hasn't done anything. I think we may need to increase your medication.
I know what I saw. You said the same thing about the woman who broke into my home, but she was real, wasn't she?
Yes, but that's apples and oranges.
Is it? Cirrus, you've known me longer than almost anyone. Am I crazy? I mean, is this the kind of thing I'm crazy about?
Arthur, okay. So, what'll make you happy? Do you want me to take Guinevere away? Is that what you want? Take the expensive antique and toss it in the dumpster. Is that what you want? Just tell me and I'll do it. Fine. Just don't expect any more presents from me, okay?
Wait, really think this is all in my head?
No. What I think is that you're under an inordinate amount of stress right now. And your brain is reaching at anything to try and distract it from what's really going on.
What's really going on?
What's really going on is that Price wants your head. Now, I know you're not guilty, but he's got that laptop. And in his hands, that's like a magic bullet. Do you have anything on that laptop that could bring into question your stability?
No, just my books.
Are you sure, Arthur? Because if you're not straight with me, then I can't help you.
No,
No violent images, no searches about the missing girl?
no, just books. I have research for my books on there.
What kind of research?
Procedural information, legal terminology, that kind of thing.
That shouldn't be too bad. Unless the timestamps match up.
You really think he's gunning for me this time?
He's been gunning for you for years. This is nothing new. I just wish I knew how that bicycle got so close to your house.
I don't know, Sears, I swear.
I know. I believe you. Look, we'll figure this out, all right? It's you and me. I've always had your back, haven't I? It's all about control. Remember that. If you see Price again, you stay in control of the situation. You are not that same 8-year-old little boy that he walked through a crime scene 15 years ago. You have the control here. You have the power. You decide what he sees, what he knows, and how he knows it. Don't give that up.
I'm in control.
That's right. Now, I'll get out of your hair. I'm sure after the kind of day that you've had, you want to get some rest.
If it's all the same to you, I think I'll stay up and write for a bit.
Whatever makes you happy.
Huh.
What is it?
You thought you might have to sedate me?
You were dragged from your home after 3 years of relative security? I didn't know what to expect. Here. Take the tranquilizer tonight, will you? Promise me, okay?
All right.
In fact, take 2.
No. 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 Shh. Please. Who are you? Who are you? No.
Rough night?
What am I doing here?
You must have fallen asleep working.
When did you get here?
About 10 minutes ago. You didn't answer the door, so I let myself in. I figured you'd taken my advice with those tranquilizers. Sleep well?
Not at all, actually.
Really?
No, I had this terrible dream. How did I get down here?
I told you. You must have fallen asleep working.
No, I went up to bed. I remember that.
No idea. Perhaps you came downstairs during the night?
Maybe.
Well, I made fresh coffee. I've got to go get logged in.
Cirrus, aren't you forgetting something?
Ah, yes. That would make things a lot easier, wouldn't it? After I'm done, do you want to talk about what you've written?
Sounds good. Hi, Patricia? Come in.
I'm so glad you called, Arthur. I have to apologize again.
What?
With what happened with Price? My boyfriend had called the station and told them that I was going to be here and asked them to keep an eye on my safety. And guess who volunteered?
Price.
Yeah.
Well, that solved one mystery.
What's the other mystery?
Sit down. Do you believe in possession?
Okay.
No. You don't understand. Please, just 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
I promise. So, Patricia, this is Guinevere.
Yeah, Arthur, we talked about her the last time I was here, remember?
Yes, and you were here when she moved, right?
What are you talking about?
Oh, please, you've got to remember. If you remember, then maybe... Okay, just tell me if I'm right so far, okay? We were talking, and you offered to get a story on me, right? To get my side of things.
Right.
And then there was a noise, and we both heard it, right? And I went to see what it was, and Gwen was laying against the door, right?
Right.
Aha! So now, what do we do about it?
I'm not following you.
Well, the doll's alive. What do we do about her?
Arthur.
You saw her move, though. You said you saw it move.
No, I saw her on the floor. She must have moved. It fell out when you moved her.
No, but she moved.
Her weight must have shifted, and after a few minutes, she just fell.
That's what Cirrus said, too.
Look, I don't mean to sound insensitive, but do I need to call your doctor?
No, he's downstairs.
Should I bring him up?
No, I've already been through all this with him. He thinks I'm freaking out because getting arrested the other day was the first time I've left my house in almost 4 years.
4 years?
Well, 3 years, 8 months, 2 weeks, and 2 days. Freaking out isn't exactly the proper medical
And you haven't left your house since then?
until yesterday.
Why?
Hmm?
Why in the hell haven't you left your house in 3.5 years?
Because nothing good ever happens when I do. The last time I did, I got charged for kidnapping a minor.
Wait, you kidnapped a minor?
No. My neighbors from 4 years ago had a daughter named Piper. She would always try to get me to buy her beer, which I wouldn't. Well, one weekend after she had disappeared and finally turned up, she had told her parents that I had kidnapped her and that she'd escaped.
She did what?
She was on some coke binge with her boyfriend at the time and didn't want to get into trouble. Cirrus figured it all out. He got them to offer me a settlement in exchange for not pressing charges.
Slow down, Arthur. Can you prove any of this?
The contract is around here somewhere. Unless the police took it. But you can't print any of that. It's non-disclosure, or gag order, or whatever the legal term.
I can change the names. That's not a problem. But what about in 2019? There was a...
Charge of attacking a prostitute. I offered her a ride. I thought I was offering her a ride home. She didn't appreciate the misunderstanding. I should have just paid her. She would have just gone away, maybe.
Arthur, is there anything on your record with any merit to it whatsoever?
I got a speeding ticket in 2020.
Okay, what about this? There was something about your books, but the article wasn't really clear on it.
The novel murders. That's what the papers call it. Arthur hasn't written in years because the last time he did, Price leaked to the media that there had been several murders copycatting those he'd written about in his book.
Dr. Weindeck, I presume?
You can call me Cirrus. And you? Would you be Angela by chance?
Patricia. Angela is the name of my ferret.
I see. Well, you gave us quite a scare the other day, you know. I actually questioned whether or not Arthur had made you up. I'm sorry, Arthur.
It was my fault. All that came across my desk was a note that said serial killer ? With Arthur's name and address. I definitely made a lot of assumptions, and I definitely should have broken into Arthur's home.
No harm done, hopefully. I've been trying to convince Arthur to leave his home for a while now. It's too early to tell if this is a step forward or back, but I'm hoping for the former.
I am still in the room, aren't I? If not, I'd really like for someone to give me a heads up.
Come here, Arthur. Let me get you your medication for you. You'll have to excuse him. The time he's spent in jail has thrown his medications all off. It'll be at least a few days before we can re-regulate.
That's all right. He's been telling me a lot about his past with his parents and Detective Price. But he hasn't said anything about you, though.
Oh, I'm hurt.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm just teasing. No, not much to tell about me, I'm afraid. I've been Arthur's physician for 5 years now.
So you're not the court-appointed doctor?
No, I found Arthur when his court-mandated therapy was coming to an end. I found his case particularly fascinating and took him on as a regular client.
That's gotta be expensive.
We were able to work it out.
I basically gave Cirrus my cellars and office. He does a couple of hours of online therapy sessions from there every day, and I get my sessions for free.
You don't work from home?
No, I used to, but my wife doesn't like it when I do. Bickering couples, people talking about their phobias, it can get pretty intense.
Well, I'm glad you're able to work something out.
Me too.
So, about the novel murders.
Arthur would write his crime dramas, and someone out there was copying the crimes he wrote about.
And Price thought you were doing the killings.
No, Arthur had alibis for some of the murders, but Price was convinced that Arthur was using the books to reach out to an accomplice, possibly even his sister.
Wait, I thought you said your sister was dead.
Unless she and I killed my parents, and then she ran away, leaving me to hold the bag, as it were.
That's one of Price's theories, anyway. That and Arthur having killed his sister, and his parents walking in on it, which motivated Arthur to kill his parents.
Or I killed my parents and kept my sister alive somewhere, trapped for days, until she finally died because I wouldn't say what I'd done with her. There's more. I've got the best ones written down here somewhere.
You've had a hard life, Arthur.
And no end in sight.
I've got it. Detective Price.
Is Arthur home?
Is there anywhere else I would be?
Can I come in?
Can I stop you?
All you have to do is say no, Arthur.
Well, that's a change. I'm curious to invite you in out of curiosity's sake alone.
Just need a minute, okay?
Arthur?
Sure. Why not? Things can't get much worse, can they?
Listen, Arthur, I have to apologize to you.
All these people apologizing? It must be Christmas.
Look, I've got to tell you that the bike we found, the one that belongs to Jenna Kelker, well, turns out that upon further investigation, we discovered that a kid took it from a house much further up from here. From her boyfriend's house, actually.
Ah, mystery solved.
Apparently the kid saw it in the front yard, snatched it, and panicked when he saw the news about the missing girl.
So now your only lead to Arthur has just flown out the window.
Aren't you the woman whose boyfriend told me to keep an eye on this place?
That's right.
Well, thank him for me, why don't you? Because of him I got suspended.
Couldn't have happened to a more deserving gentleman.
Yeah, get your laughs in, pal. Look, I told my desk sergeant I'd come by and apologize. I've done that, so I'll be on my way.
Last time I see you, I hope.
Listen, You may not like me, and that's fine. But I don't just hassle him because it gets me off, you understand? I happen to actually think he's dangerous. And if I'm wrong, then oh well. But I've still got a missing girl. And she's just the latest in a long line of missing young women from this area. So I'm not going to apologize for trying everything I can to find them. And if I have to choose between not hurting that thing's feelings and finding Jenna Kelker, I'm going to do the one that doesn't make my skin crawl.
Well, on that lovely note, my young friend here happens to be quite the chef. Arthur, would you like to ask Mrs.
Patricia.
Would you like to invite Patricia to dine with us?
Would you like to? I've got a recipe for brandy apple chicken I'm dying to try.
I would love to.
Can we move that to the kitchen though?
Of course. Actually, no. Let's bring it to dinner.
Oh, must we?
Arthur seems to think it's possessed. What better way to put this nonsense to rest than a little exposure therapy?
All right. Bring on the chicken. Bye. It was lovely meeting you.
Lovely meeting you. Come back and visit again. I'm sure Arthur would appreciate the company. Well, Arthur, I think that was an unqualified success.
Do you know?
I do. You don't seem to realize you just had a conversation with an actual human woman. A rather attractive woman, if I do say so myself.
Great. Fantastic.
Oh, Arthur, what is the matter with you? You got rid of Price and you got your name cleared all in one evening? You should be over the moon by now.
There's still that.
Really? You're still obsessed about Gwenny? Seriously, Arthur. We just had a lovely meal, and there wasn't a single sign of anything strange.
You don't call 3 adults having dinner with a porcelain doll strange?
You know what I mean, Arthur.
Seriously, I don't know what spirit is trapped in there. All I know is that thing is alive.
Really? Okay, Arthur. If that's how you want to play it out. If it's the only way to convince you, I am going to spend the night.
You are?
Oh, yes. I'm going to sleep right here, and I won't let the damn thing out of my sight all night. You have my word.
Really?
Will it put an end to this foolishness?
Thank you.
You can thank me by dropping this ridiculous obsession with ghosts or demons or whatever the hell it is.
Right.
Grab me another pillow, and I expect sausage and waffles in the morning for my trouble.
Anything you say.
Just gonna call my wife and let her know not to expect me home.
Okay.
Good morning, Arthur. How'd you sleep?
terribly. Well,
Well, what?
what did she do?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing. Not a damn thing.
No, she must have. You missed it.
Arthur, for Christ's sake, I thought we made a deal.
You didn't watch her.
Arthur, you have my word. I kept an eye on her all the way up until 4 a.m. when I just couldn't keep my eyes open any longer. Now, the damn thing didn't make a peep or twitch an eyebrow.
But
It's a doll, Arthur. Now, I've done my part. You've got one of two choices. Either we trash the thing, or you get over this and we get back to making some progress.
can I think about it?
Sure. Take all the time in the world. And by that I mean until after breakfast. Now, you owe me some waffles.
I'm sorry.
Arthur, what is all this junk cluttering up my browser history? You were up until 2 o'clock looking up exorcisms and occult rituals?
Sorry, I thought it'd help me sleep if I prepared.
Prepared for what?
Well, I thought she was gonna do something. And that we'd have to... Together we...
Oh, Arthur, you sound like that 8-year-old boy I read about in your file. Have we really lost 5 years of progress in just 5 days?
No. No. It's just...
It's just what?
You know how I've been worried about my dark impulses.
You shouldn't be afraid of dark thoughts, Arthur. Everyone has them. What matters is what you do with them.
Well, I've been reading. The Native Americans have this thing called the Shinashi totem. It absorbs the dark parts of the spirit and gives it life.
A totem?
It's one possible explanation.
Sit down, Arthur. I think with all the trauma that's been happening to you lately, maybe it's time to explore some alternative treatment.
What do you mean?
Well, the medication clearly isn't working. Not if we're one step away from seeing little green men. Look, I'll cancel my other patients for now. I'll talk to my wife about being away from home a little more often. You and I have been casual for a long time now, and maybe it's time to get back to some more formal therapy. You can try some different combination of drugs. There's some new stuff out on the market that wasn't available when we first met.
You really think that's for the best?
I do. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I was pushing for you to get out there too quickly.
No, serious. I've managed the voices just fine for years. It's just now this doll, I can't...
It can be difficult to adapt to new symptoms, but we'll lick it. I've got you, Arthur. I've always had your back, haven't I? Well, I've got to go home and grab some things. I'll be back in a couple of hours, okay?
Okay. Serious. Where did you say you got that thing?
I don't know, some house over on Barrowman Street.
Hey, Patricia. Hey, I've got a favor to ask you. Could you look up any information on an estate sale on Barrowman Street last week? Yeah, any information on the family that was holding it? Don't ask me to explain, please. You will? Thanks. You're not going to win that easily. Find an item of pure copper and place it on the object. Pressing a religious symbol against the object might force the demonic presence to show itself. Okay, you can do this, Arthur. It's okay. She's not a real person. It's okay if she's not a real person. It's okay, you can do this. You have to protect Cirrus. You have to protect. Ah! Ammonia? What does ammonia mean? No, please don't. Please. What do you want from me? Who are you? Are you me? Are you my own dark thoughts? Are you my sister? Are you my mother? Who are you? No. No. Patricia, hey, did you have a chance to look up that estate sale on Barrowman yet? Well, don't bother. There never was one. I need you to come over here right now. No, it's just, I need you right now. No, I can't tell Cirrus about this. No, I can't call the police. Because they'll think I did it. It was Cirrus. This whole time it was him. He's been lying to me. I need you to come over here right now, please. Because I just found the body of Jenna Kelker.
Where's... Oh my God, what did you do?
It was Cirrus. He lied to me this whole time.
Why haven't you helped her?
I can't touch her.
For God's sake, Arthur, what the hell is the matter with you?
Lots of things.
Well, forget it. Right now, this girl is hurting and scared and needs our help. Have you called an ambulance?
Ambulance? No.
Call one now. Oh, for God's sake, Arthur, look. This is touch. And yes, people need to touch each other, but it should only be when invited. It's how we communicate. It's how we show how we are feeling. And right now, I need you to trust me and call an ambulance.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
What is that smell?
I think Cirrus had her hooked up to a catheter. I must have punctured it.
It's gonna be all right.
Hello? We need medical service, please.
Hello. Yes. It was a false alarm. My mother fell. But she's all right now. Thank you. You have a good night, too.
disappointed in you, Arthur. Why didn't you call me?
What are you doing?
Just an injection.
What is that stuff?
A paralytic. That way, I can wake them up, and they'll be as limp as rag dolls.
Why do you want them awake?
It's no fun if they're not awake, Arthur.
That's the missing girl, isn't it? That's Jenna!
Yes, it is. Just our type, isn't she, Arthur?
I don't have a type.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. I've read your books. Of course you have a type.
That's just fiction.
That you get from your dreams. And a dream is just a wish the mind makes.
No. No, this is all wrong. Everything about this is wrong.
Calm down, Arthur. Everything is under control. I've been doing this a long time.
How long? How many? How long?
Oh, well before I met you, Arthur. But since we met, it's been a brave new world. Come. Sit with me a moment. Come on now.
Are you going to inject me? Sedate me like them?
Heavens, no, don't be silly. I'm your friend.
But you've been lying to me.
Arthur, I'm losing my patience. Sit! Now, why would you think I'd want to hurt you?
Because I found...
What? Them? No. No, Arthur. You think I'm upset because of them? Heavens, no.
Really?
No.
Then why did you keep lying to me? I told you she was alive, and you lied to me over and over and...
You were never meant to find out. I had issues finding the right dosage for the sedative. Apparently, she's got some red-headed genes in her family. Did you know redheads need more anesthetic than most people? I never knew that. It was all my fault. I got carried away. I got brash and creative, and I was tired of confining my adventures to the basement.
The basement?
Oh, Arthur, you really believed I was doing online counseling, didn't you?
What do you do to them?
Oh, that's what makes it exciting. It's never the same twice. Each one of them is unique and gets their own special treatment. Sometimes it's quick. Most of the time it's slow. There was one girl, Tiffany. I didn't lay a finger on her for almost a month. Just spent an hour every day just tracing her with my eyes, letting her imagination do the work. You've been a godsend, Arthur. You really have. I couldn't work at home. My wife was always getting in the way. Coffee?
Why?
Same as I've always told you, Arthur. It's about control. That's what we all want out of life, to be in control.
I love my wife, Arthur. I could never treat her like this. I wouldn't want to. You more than anyone should appreciate what I mean. Ugh. How old is this? Never mind, I'll make fresh.
Why me?
Because you've been fighting for control your whole life. Ever since you lost your family, you've been fighting.
My grandfather once had a drink with a German soldier, bought him a beer. 3 days later, the Germans still shot him on the battlefield. Being nice is what you have to do when you've lost control.
Like now, you mean?
I think I know what you need. Take a seat.
What are you doing?
Just a little exercise in control. I don't think you understand exactly what we have here, Arthur. Sit. Now, I want you to look at her eyes, Arthur. Just look at her eyes. Now, while you're looking, I want you to think about all the things you could do to her. It could be literally anything, whenever, however, for however long you want to make it last. Vivens mortus, or the living death to us. You look into those eyes and you can see that she knows that you're in complete control, that she's at your mercy. That all she is a toy, a possession, something that belongs to you. That sometimes we love our toys, and sometimes we break them. Jenna here already knows that. Don't you, Jenna? Anything we imagine. You look into those eyes and you think about all the things you want to do, and they stare right back at you and they're imagining the same things. What is he going to do to me? They ask. All the colors of the rainbow, all the possible things you could do to them are dancing around in their heads. And you are in complete control of their every thought, their every fear, their every action. So, Arthur, what do you see? Are you the bully or the bully?
I don't know.
Don't think about now. Think about before, when she tried to break in. What did you want to do to her?
I wanted to take her head in my hands.
Good.
I wanted to grab her by the hair. And I wanted to smash her face into the counter. I wanted to keep smashing it down over and over again. Until her skull was in a million pieces. Until she realized how wrong it was for her to be here.
You can do it.
And then...
And then...
And then... She apologized. And now... I just see her pain. I don't like it.
Now I'm really disappointed in you, Arthur. Didn't quite think that through, did we, Arthur?
Help! Help!
We could have had so much fun together. Now, let's not make this any more difficult than it has to.
What do you want from me? You were supposed to be my friend!
No, I'm your therapist. But you only get out of therapy what you put in. Come here. Arthur, come here.
You're gonna kill her anyway.
Not necessarily. I've got enough chemicals over there to make a rupee seem like a pixie stick. But in order to do that, you are going to have to take the fall for Jenna there. So you've got two choices. Either both of them, or both of you. And your new friend here wakes up tomorrow morning in the park and doesn't remember a thing. Tap the inside of your right arm to find a vein. And when you've got it, press it home.
Will it hurt?
No. It'll be just like going to sleep. Who is it?
It's Detective Price. Patricia Gilman told me to meet her here.
Say a word. She was here a little while ago, but she left after an argument with Arthur.
Did she say when she's gonna be back?
I don't know. They had a big fight. She's probably...
Help! Help! He's gonna kill us!
You have to help Arthur had the girl here the whole time! Ah! 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 Oh!
Oh, you startled me. I must not have heard you come in.
I figured I had a key for a reason.
Well, dinner should be ready in just a few minutes.
I'm in no rush. How have you been?
I started the restaurant on Friday. Just a line cook, but it's a start. The chef, he does a special every week, and we get to introduce a dish for the special of the week, and we all get to decide on a winner.
Is that what we're having tonight?
Maybe.
And if it turns out to be good,
It turns out to be good. I wrote another chapter this morning, and then I threw up.
you're still thinking about Patricia, aren't you?
She still hasn't spoken to me. It's been almost 6 months. I was gonna give up my life for hers, and she still won't speak to me.
She can't, Arthur. It's a part of her life she wants to leave as far behind as possible.
How can you do it? How can you just forget about the terrible things from your past and start fresh?
You think you can't escape your past? That you're broken? Everyone's broken, Arthur. You think because you write murder mysteries it means you're some kind of monster? You once told me you find writing cathartic. Do you know why? It's not because you like writing about killing and blood and murder. It's about beginnings. Every story you write starts with people who just want to be left alone to live their lives, and then are confronted by tragedy. That's what you want. You just can't see it happening without the tragedy. If we think of our lives, they're all just a series of stories, really. They each have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Sometimes they end well. Sometimes they don't. But the ending is such a small part of the story. We can recognize when one chapter of our life is over, but we often don't recognize when a new chapter has begun. Sometimes we do, starting college, moving away from home, but there are so many beginnings we miss out on celebrating. A first date with someone. You might spend the next 50 years of your life with a person, but unless you're really lucky, you don't know on that first date that it's the beginning of something so special. And you miss making the most of what it could have been. And then it's gone and it's in the past too. If we spend our lives thinking about how they're going to end and don't try things because we're afraid of how they might turn out, we'd never start anything. Every story ends with a new beginning. So concentrate on that. Don't make endings. Make beginnings.
I got it. Detective Price.
Hey Arthur, can I come in for a second?
Can I say no?
You sure can.
Then please, come in.
Hope I'm not interrupting dinner.
No, it should be ready in just a few minutes. You came to see me about something, Detective?
Well, I thought you'd want to know that your old friend Frankenstein, and I'm using it correct this time, I checked, he finally took a plea deal.
He did? But you had all that evidence.
Yeah, I know, but between that rolling suitcase of his and your basement, we found the DNA of over 20 missing girls. It was the only way to get Weindeck to admit where the bodies were buried. But he may have avoided the death penalty, but he's got so many life sentences it'd make your head spin.
Glad to hear it.
So you're gonna stay around here, huh?
I don't like living in the murder house, if that's what you're asking. I refuse to be kicked out of my own home. Victims need to take back what was
I think you had us all, fool. Plus, you did save my life, so keep your nose clean, okay?
Come on, let's eat.
Say, Arthur, I just gotta ask you. Oh, sorry, am I interrupting? Did you have a guest?
No, it's just me.
I just gotta know for my own sake. Did you kill your parents?
I don't know. Probably never will. But if I did, I'm not him anymore. Did you want to join me, Detective?
Maybe some other time.
Pinch more salt. A little more generous on the butter.